Hello and welcome to this year's holiday stream, the holiday special 2019. Thank you very much for joining us. Really happy you can make it, especially since apparently one of the assets going around, one of the promos for the stream had the wrong date. Glad you're here anyway, but I think most of them that went out had today's date, so we should be more or less good. Today, what are we doing? This is a weird stream. First off, it's not a Thursday. It's on the last Monday of the month. No, this is our special annual holiday stream where we look back at the last year's music, and people from the studio get to play the songs that they wanted to play throughout the year and didn't get the chance to do. We're going to give away loads of prizes, and as always, we're taking your question. We have both Jurassic and Black Widow 9 in the chat. That is Brian and Tawny, who work on the community for Rocksmith. They'll take your questions and give it to us. They're also handling the raffles throughout the stream. We don't have a trailer today because that's not what this is about. So I want to introduce our first guests of the stream, Jason Coco and Jared Mcadams.
Hello.
Welcome. Could you
Hi.
pull your mic in just a bit, please?
Me?
Yeah.
Hi.
Oh, that's better.
What about me?
You're perfect.
Oh, good.
In every
In
way.
all ways. Yeah. How you guys doing?
Great. How are you?
Doing great. It's our holiday stream.
It is.
Time flies.
Time does fly. We have some extra decorations. About a couple. It's very, very low key. But so, like I mentioned, we're going to have a lot of prizes today that we're giving out.
Nice.
Neither of you are eligible. I
What?
apologize. Yeah, you're employees here.
Man.
But every prize winner who gets a physical prize will get both the wooden ornament here and the new. I've got a copy here.
This one right here?
This reflective Rocksmith ornament.
Moly.
Both of which created by hand and lasers
See it
from
glimmer.
Dynamic. Yeah.
Nice.
It's beautiful.
So like I mentioned, this annual stream, you get to pick whichever song you want from the past year. And Coco, you picked this song,
I did.
Sister Christian by Night Ranger.
I did.
Why? What drew you to this song from the past year?
Well, I'm glad that we finally did it. It's an awesome song, and I've enjoyed it since it was released.
Yeah.
And I had aside from that reason, I had another reason for picking it, and in fact, it was revealed when Jared and I were chatting about just before. It was because of its use in Boogie Nights. That wasn't like the main reason, but
okay.
it's
Okay.
such a like so. As soon as he started talking, I was like, yeah, that's why I picked it. yeah. So, but yeah, it's I don't know. It's a really well composed song, and we don't play for about a third of it, so that's nice. You could just sit back and just kind of take it easy. you know?
Holiday cheer.
That was when we released the Night Ranger song pack. We did talk about how just finely crafted all the songs were, and how the two guitarists' disparate styles really meshed together in a nice way. So you're taking the lead on this bass, Jared.
Correct.
The lead, I forget. Do you handle sort of both solo sections? Are there two solo sections in this?
Just one.
One? Okay.
Yeah, there's just one. Yeah. I never played the rhythm part. I just played this, just barely. You know?
All right.
Only look at, but I mean, yeah, it's so I can't remember what's different, but yeah, there's just one solo.
Okay,
in this one,
cool.
so.
Well, let's go ahead and get into it. This is Sister Christian by Night Ranger. Again, if you have any questions, reach out to Jurassic or Black Widow 9 in the chat. So this is the part where you're not playing.
Correct. This is where we can pretend to get ready, like.
Sister Christian, overtime has come, and you know that you're the only one to say.
What about now?
Maybe.
Okay.
Ready?
Where
Okay.
you go and what you looking
Wake me up when it's
for.
January.
You
We gotta
know
build
those
to this one.
boys don't wanna play no more with you. It's true. Finding Mr.
I love seeing that giant anchor zone.
Yeah, I
behind
know.
you for the
Just
whole end
sitting
of
there
the
for the
song.
rest. It's like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I know that's the hard part about the multiplayer. The lack of screen real estate. You're like, do I have anything else? Am I gonna just do some rip and tap? And,
So that's why you wanted to play that song.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's fun. It's
yeah,
fun.
it is fun.
I just we talked about this this technique a couple weeks ago, not you and I, but on the stream, the sort of bend to a tap.
Oh yeah,
That's such an interesting thing that you don't see often. Do you mind?
It's such an
giving a
80s
little-
thing, too.
yeah. I don't. I don't mind. I don't mind kind of going through the idea of it. So when you bend, you're affecting the pitch of the bent note. So if I'm starting on that note, what the solo does is it bends from the second to the major third. And so when he wants to get the sound of the fifth, he's tapping the fourth. So it's basically the same, but just bent up a whole step.
Yeah.
So when you tap on the bend, your tap note is the same number of semitones that you've bent. So you can get that. And so what happens there is instead of bending up to the major third, he bends up to the minor third. So that's like the preparatory. It's like the dominant seventh
Yeah.
of the next of that chord. And so then when he wants the major third of that chord, he's tapping a half step like lower
Less,
than the
yeah.
actual major third because the bend makes it higher. So you have to be thinking when
like
you
kind
do
of
it. So anyway.
transpose it on the fly with taking the bends into account.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And so for a lot of that you can use your ear, but that's basically what's happening, and it's really neat. And I guess I didn't realize that he did that until I actually looked at this note track, and I was like, oh, that's how he always did it, because I always just thought that it was like, which you
Right,
can do it that
yeah.
way too if you want, but
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's a lot neater to
You're right.
to employ
Yeah,
that sort of tapping.
it's a neat technique, and it just sounds clean, I guess.
Yeah.
And if you don't do a lot of tapping, if you haven't played a lot of tapping, that seems like a nice way to sort of introduce it into your toolbox.
Yeah, you're not
Bag of
doing that
tricks.
whole all that
Right,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
nonsense.
You work your way up to that.
Yeah, just like tap a note once in a while, and yeah, it's cool, and it sounds it does, it sounds neat, and it sounds clean when you execute
Yeah.
it well. Like it just yeah. So
Cool.
that's that.
I have some questions from the chat.
Oh.
These are probably going to be questions that
Is
we
it about the
that I'll repeat.
cardigans?
It is not about the cardigans, though. I think we are all three of us very well dressed.
I'm
today.
sandwiched between two cardigans.
Two cardigans. So actually, Matt Al asks, how do you play a double stop bend on a Floyd Rose without moving the bridge?
Oh man, you do have to adjust like what you were, because if with a fixed bridge, even with a fixed bridge, when you do a double stop bend, you're gonna affect, like the neck has some a tendency to bow when you're doing that anyway, and it's exacerbated by the Floyd Rose. So when you do it, you have to just basically bend more, really.
Yeah.
So if I have this note, all I'm gonna do is just bend. I won't play the bent note. All I did was bend. I didn't do anything else, and then it went down a half step. So you kind of have
Yeah.
to. You have to actually bend both notes in order
Even-
to order
okay.
to get it back to
Interesting.
where it's supposed to be. So that that holds true for both the unison bend, where you can hear it, and then any kind of double stop bend. So yeah, you have to sort of overcompensate
Compensate for
for
it.
the
Okay.
fact that the fixed, and it's a pain. It's a real pain
Gotcha.
to do. So
And yeah, and there's no, I mean, there is a formula, I guess, if you wanted to do it, but you really just have to use your ears.
Yeah, because it's easier on a fixed bridge to because you still have to do it a little bit, but yeah, you got to just use your ears and know your guitar too,
Yeah.
because like this Floyd Rose is going to respond just a little bit different than my Gem Junior at home, which is almost the exact same guitar. but,
Right.
Like and I know, like, every time I pick it up, I go, okay, I have to think about where that's going to be when I.
Do you have the same strings on this Gym Junior as you do on your home Gym?
Yeah, I
Junior?
have the same tension.
Okay,
Yeah,
same
and
tension.
so then that's the other thing is if you have different tension of strings, the different setups, you're going to have to compensate. So if you really know your guitar, it'll help. So.
Another question we had, the one that we'll probably be asking most of our guests today. This will be mostly for Jared, since we kind of know the answer for Jason here. But what song from the past year were you most sort of
wow.
excited about? If you would have picked this song.
Man, I mean, it's just, usually these emails go out saying, "Hey, everybody, come play on something," and I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, maybe somebody approaches me, I'll consider it. But this is one where I saw that this song was on the list, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm totally gonna jump in on that. And so, I mean, this is
So this
right,
is
right
so
up my
you
alley.
you entered exactly
Yeah,
where you needed to be.
yeah,
All right,
yeah.
cool. Well, thank you both very much. Right now, we're going to give away our first of, I believe, 7 prizes. We're giving away a lot of stuff today. The first prize, again, thank you for joining us for this holiday stream. The first prize we're going to give away on today's stream, we're going to give away 3 Snark tuners. These are the Snark ST8 clip-on super tight chromatic tuners. So for your chance to win one of these 3 Snark tuners, please listen to what either UB Jurassic or Black Widow 9 are saying in the chat right now. They will give you instructions on how you can win one of these 3 Snark tuners. These tuners all also have a metronome included with them. So if you're running scales, you're running drills, you just clip on your tuner, start the metronome, and you're all set, all good to go. Winners are also going to receive the wooden and the mirrored Rocksmith ornament, and probably a pick or 2. So please listen to your instructions on how you can win one of these 3 tuners. If you win, one of our moderators is going to reach out to you via a whisper, and they are going to get your name, your shipping address, and your telephone number. Once we have all of that information, we can ship out your prizes to you. I will let you know this prize and one of our other prizes, which I'll mention later, are still on their way to us, so they won't be going out today, but it should be within the next couple weeks. I'm hoping to get them to you before we have our break. So yeah, good luck on the Snark tuners. You must be following the channel to win. Otherwise, please watch for the instructions from Brian and Tani, our community manager and community representative, respectively, for your chance to win one of these prizes. Once again, the ornaments, I have one right here, which you can't see. This is the wooden laser-etched ornament. Again, both of these ornaments etched by our own Dan Emmerich. And we have, as well, the mirrored ornament. I don't know how well the camera will pick it up. I can get some nice glare on it if I aim it right. But this is a new design, and I'm really stoked about it. So yeah, please enter, win, good luck, and we will have more music coming up very soon. Some questions apparently about one of the later prizes. There is what I'm kind of rebranding the All Access Pass, but better known as the Golden Ticket. That will include Rocksmith 1 content, and that will get you, winning the prize will get you all DLC up to now. There may be some that we have to send you from when that code was made, but we can work out amongst ourselves once that prize is being given away. We will deal with that when the time comes. Again, I want to thank you for joining us on this Monday for our holiday stream, and we're about ready to say hello to our next set of guests. Andrew Levin and Amy Batista, welcome.
What up?
Welcome to the holiday stream 2019.
2019.
Welcome to you too.
Thank
I
you.
feel like
Thank
people
you.
don't say that enough to
They
you.
don't.
You
They
know?
don't.
Yeah.
They just assume I'm always here.
Yeah.
You are.
Wait, it's true. I guess I am here when they get here.
You are a staple.
So the two of you are also staples, I would say.
True.
Yeah.
You just-
Well, yeah.
You just don't stand behind a podium
No.
and pretend to be important like I do.
I could do
Uh,
that. No, that's not
we
correct.
could.
I couldn't do that.
This is a very sort of crisp set of guitars
It
that
is.
you've brought. This is a look. It's almost like you coordinated for these. I'm pretty sure you didn't, but it's a nice look. So what are you both
Do
playing?
you know that for real?
What that you did
Haven't
not coordinate?
coordinated?
No, I don't know anything.
Yeah.
I don't know what
I
you guys talk
mean,
about.
we do things that you don't
Yeah,
know
oh yeah,
about.
no, no, I will never claim to know more than I do. But can you tell us about the instruments that you are playing?
Sure. Why don't you go first? Because I think you got a cool story on. Or have you done that? Have you
We-
played
we
that one on
have-
the
this,
stream?
This has
Okay.
been debuted before. This is the
Has
St.
it been
Vincent.
has it been debuted as your
Mine,
guitar?
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
All right, never mind. So not. Yeah. So this guitar's also been debuted. This is the Matt Heafy guitar.
Yeah.
He sent it to us because he thinks we're cool.
Yeah, and
And-
when we
and
think
we
he's
think
cool.
he's very cool
Yeah.
too.
Um,
But it was more of a triumphant thing of like, Matt Heafy thinks
we
we're
think
cool.
we're cool. Yeah, yeah. We get to.
That's always a
blush.
good thing, right? When
You're
you're the artist, you show and they're like, "You guys are cool."
We're like, you think so?
Really?
It's kind of like when we have like
That's yeah.
So yeah, two signature guitars.
Yes.
Two very different signature guitars.
I feel like they'd be down to hang out though.
Yeah, I would.
Andy
Like,
Clark
I
and,
would listen to that.
Matt Heafy.
I would listen
oh
to
my
that
God,
that
yeah.
combo album. That sounds
That would be
amazing.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine what it would be, which is the most exciting thing.
But I think it would work.
Oh, it would for sure work.
she
yeah.
would probably like kick off a riff that we hadn't heard, and they'd be like, "What?"
I think they would be fun to work off one another.
Absolutely.
So the song, this is a song that you picked, Andrew. I think
Yeah.
I dropped my set
No,
list.
no.
No,
Excuse
I
me.
picked the
according
song.
to you.
Did you pick it up? Okay. I
No,
dropped my set
I
list.
picked the other song.
Oh yeah, because
He picked the second song.
Andrew is filling in right now,
Mm-hmm.
and your song will be coming later. So my apologies, Emmy.
Just like
Emmy,
Real World.
according to you by Orianthi,
Yeah.
you didn't play this one previously, correct?
I did for the women's pack
Okay.
for
Okay.
that stream
When it came out.
for that one. So
So what made you want to revisit?
I'm much better at it now than I was.
So you've been practicing, yeah. Just time.
Yeah,
time is
then
giving you a
you know,
chance.
like on that one, I was planning to do the bass, and then they were like, "No, you gotta play the guitar," and I was like, "What?"
So you played the rhythm. So on that stream, we didn't see, we heard it, but we didn't see the lead path.
Yeah.
So Andrew, you were playing the lead path
Today.
today,
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
You seemed surprised by that.
No, I was like, I wasn't playing it.
Is that what I'm doing?
It's not a
So you're
bass.
playing the lead, and Emmy, you're revisiting rhythm. Now you
Yeah.
are, just because we always disclose, you're playing at 88% difficulty today.
Mhm.
So if it seems like there are some notes not showing that you've seen before, that's why. And for people who don't usually watch our stream, because we tend to get a few extra visitors. So hello to all of our new viewers out there.
What up?
You are a note tracker.
Yeah.
Let's say.
Yeah.
say you were a note tracker. To anybody who's never hung out with us on the stream before and heard about this, can you explain briefly what your job is as far as getting songs into Rocksmith?
Yeah, absolutely. So the notes that you see in the game are actually not put on there by a robot. They're done by
Yeah.
humans. We are the humans that put the notes in the game.
We are the humans.
Yeah. But in addition, the leveling, dynamic difficulty is done by hand, and this is mainly so that we can have a sense, have it introduce notes in a way that is subjective. So any song has anywhere from a few thousand notes to probably some of them have 10,000 notes or more when you factor in all the different skill levels and everything. That's one, it's a lot of work to
Yeah.
put these songs in the game. We also do a lot of other tasks just around the office, audio related or otherwise, but the note tracking part is the actually putting the notes in the game. And
So
all
so
that.
once you've once you've transcribed the songs, it's basically set up the DLC and then leveled everything. Once the DLC is all complete and finished and tested, Emmy, you're the one who makes sure it gets out to the people.
Yeah, I make sure it gets to the first parties and then it goes out to the people.
Okay, that's a good distinction. That's I make sure it goes to the people that send it to.
Yeah,
the
and then
players.
you hit me up
So
with an IM when there's a problem.
Yeah. I'm like,
And I'm
Andy,
just like,
somebody-
no!
somebody's not getting their DLC. All right, so Orianthi, according to you, let's go ahead and let's get into it.
Cool.
All right.
Do it. I was just looking.
According to you, I'm stupid and useless. I can't do anything right. According to you, I'm difficult to please, forever changing my mind. I'm a mess in a dress, can't show up on time, even if you would save my life. According to you, according to you. According to him, anything right. But according to him, I'm beautiful, incredible. He can get me out of his head. According to him, I'm funny, irresistible. Everything he ever wanted.
Well, that was the wrong note. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's that, and I think that's why we wanted to make sure we got the lead path on the stream this time.
Yeah, yeah.
Because she's a shredder.
Oh yeah.
She is.
So we talked about it during the women's Women Who Rock 2 song pack. But she has played with a lot of people.
Yeah. She's got an extensive background.
Yeah, like her
Like her
discography.
portfolio is kind of crazy. We're just
Really?
like, what?
Yeah.
She was in that?
She started with like Michael Jackson.
Yeah, she was going to be the touring guitarist for Michael Jackson. Yeah, she's all over the place.
Yeah,
So I'm glad.
she's really good on her own. And I was like, when you brought up the holiday pack, and it was like, there's like we have so much stuff for. I was like, we should do a little bit of Orion thing.
Yeah. So one of the questions that came up and that we've sort of been asking people, and I'll ask yours when we circle back around to you.
I see
but-
how it is.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what you get. That's what you get for being here twice. Emmy, was this sort of your favorite song of the year?
No, I
For
was
releases?
I was also leaning towards the Go-Go's.
The Go-Go's. Okay, yeah.
We got the beat. I was
That's
just like, oh, that just came.
It was pretty recent. I don't remember if that made the the list of songs that were eligible was
And then
pretty
the
much
blues are really good too. And
But
I was
also
like,
very
that's
recent.
that's and I was like,
yeah, yeah.
So, but I was like, let's circle back to something that will kind
A
of
few months ago. Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, thank you both very much for coming and playing. And again, I'll ask you when we see you back on the booth.
You know, man, I'll just go over there and cry for a few minutes.
Oh, that's probably fine. Actually, you know what? I take that back. I did have a question
Okay.
for you based on the conversation that we have about note tracking. Heatwave 20 Thirst wants to know, to complete dynamic difficulty, are you looking at easy versions of songs like in old fake books and whatnot?
No, not usually.
Not usually.
No.
So typically you will use your ears and sometimes video of live performances.
Well. So for transcribing,
For
yeah,
transcribing.
for transcribing, that's so the transcribing is actually a pretty different process than the leveling itself. The leveling usually takes actually quite a bit longer than the transcribing itself, and sometimes you'll be leveling songs that you didn't transcribe.
Yeah.
Usually if I get a song, if I didn't transcribe it, I'll edit the transcription to fit kind of what I would like it to be, because I think that the thing about transcription is it is a very subjective thing. It's not like either it's right or it's not, because
Right. It's like, this is a right way to play this.
exactly, this is a right way to play this, or this is a right way to. It could be the exact same notes, but how you write it is different.
Yeah.
When you decide to change your fingering, how accurate is it? Because there's a lot of parts where you might learn the part and it's not exactly what's on the recording, but if you ask the guitar player to play what's on the recording, they couldn't play it because they were just playing something and maybe did a couple little chug-a-doos, But to answer your question about the dynamic difficulty, one of the reasons that it wouldn't necessarily be a good thing to reference easy versions of songs, for example, is we try and build you up to the correct technique, right? So if I'm playing, for example, the Orianti song, right? So let's take a riff like, just this kind of power chord riff, right? Right? That thing.
Yeah.
So the easiest way to play that, if I were to super simplify that down, I could just go. Or I could even maybe do like a G,
Yeah.
D, E minor to C, right? But we want to prepare you for playing the actual part.
Right.
So, everything's going to be in the correct position. And then we might
So
add
that's
the
why
chords.
sometimes if you're on a lower difficulty, you might see a string that you think, well, I should just, I can reach it with my ring finger. Why would I slide my hand up to play it with my index finger?
Yeah.
It's because we're trying to set you up for what's coming with more difficulties, with more challenging difficulties.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're trying to set you up for, yeah, exactly. If you're going to play it at top out or close to, well, I guess that's a term that we use to, top out is the top difficulty 100. So if you're going to be playing close to top out, we want to be preparing you for that and not necessarily like a reductionist version of the song that may or may not fit into that.
Sure. Thank you again. Amy, thank you very much for your selection. And now we're going to give away our second batch of prizes on this year's Rocksmith holiday stream. So if you would like to win one of 4 customized Rocksmith guitar straps, please listen to UB Jurassic and Black Widow 9 in the chat right now. Like I said, we are giving away 4 of these straps. These, much like the ornaments, were created by Dan Emmerich, who got some tools and not lathed. You don't lathe leather. Worked some leather. Leather working with lasers. Laser working. That's a term that I'm going to stick with now. We have 4 of these straps. 3 of them are brown leather straps. 1 of these straps is a white leather strap. The way this is going to work is when you win, the winners will have a first come, first served opportunity to claim the white guitar strap. If no one claims the white guitar strap, it will be randomly put into one of the outgoing packages for the winners. But if you really want that white strap, ask for it once you are contacted by UB Jurassic or Black Widow 9 for your chance to win that one. And I just realized that I should be getting ready for the next song because I am playing as well. And I've just been standing around reading about these straps. I had the straps pulled out so I could show them to you, but now I'm moving over to the guitar, and I guess we can go and switch over. I'm not ashamed. I'm not embarrassed. We can look at us tune and calibrate. Hello, Francois. Welcome. So I am currently calibrating so that we can get ready to play. Shouldn't be too long. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
I'm doing very well. So you didn't select this song.
No,
I
you
selected
did.
it, and you were nice enough to join me. We are playing Radiohead's Jigsaw
puzzle
falling into
into
place.
pieces.
Falling into place.
So why did you choose this song?
I'm a big Radiohead fan, and I wanted to play this one on the stream, and I didn't. So now I'm playing it. So this is
And I didn't know
oh,
what
you
I
got
was
a
saying.
tune too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. This is why
I'm
I should
tuning
look
on
ahead.
screen.
You're tuning on
because-
screen. This is weird. So, Francois, you've been joining us a lot this year. and
yeah,
I
because
thank you for that.
So I've been playing Rocksmith for 2.5 years now.
Mhm.
I mean, I had a little bit of experience on the bass beforehand.
Yeah.
But when my kid started playing guitar as part of a girls' rock band, girls' rock camp.
Yeah.
I decided that I would pick up the guitar as well to, support my kid. And with
Then
Rocksmith, I've improved my, my confidence playing the guitar. And
Sure.
here we go.
So you're playing the alt lead
I am playing the old
path for Jigsaw falling into place. Are you a Radiohead fan?
I wouldn't call myself a fan. I do like whatever I listen of them.
So this is purely a favor to me.
Yes, and I also realized that I don't think I've played with you before. Have I?
Have we? I don't know. We might not have played together. That's
This is
very
our
possible.
first, yes.
This might be our first time. And you're playing the alt lead path. And I guess we are just about. I guess we can go anytime that we want. But I
Unless
did
you
want to go ahead and ask you, if you were to have picked a song, what song would you from this past year would you have most wanted to play?
I'm going to say, if you tolerate this, then your children will be next by the Manic Street Preachers.
And did you play one of the Manic Street Preacher songs?
Yeah, I did not play Motorcycle Emptiness. I played Design for Life.
Okay, there you go. Cool. Well, let's get into some Radiohead. really interesting song on bass. This is my favorite one I think from the year, which is why I picked it. And it's mostly because the rhythms are continually moving, and that's pretty true for a lot of the Radiohead stuff.
Yeah. And earlier today, you were also talking about how basically we were
Yeah. So the way I listen, we have a note. Herman Lee, welcome to chat. We got a rave from Herman Lee. Hi, Herman. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope you're doing well. Saw Herman a couple months ago. Played in San Francisco. Joined us here in the studio. Said hello. Really fun to have you. As always, thank you. If you're here in the chat with us today, thank you very much. Otherwise, anybody who is raiding with Herman, welcome to the Rocksmith Holiday Stream 2019. You just heard Radiohead, Jigsaw Puzzle falling into place. What you were saying? Sorry to interrupt.
You were talking about how you listen when you listened to Radiohead. It was you kind of imagined it accompanied by choreography.
There's a video that went around. I talk a lot about YouTube videos because that's what I know. YouTube video about the rhythm for their song Videotape, and basically the song I think was created as a dance song, and they just stripped out a lot of the stuff that made it dancey. So now I will sort of proactively listen to Radiohead as if it's a dance song that's just had some stuff sort of removed.
Earlier this year, Tom York also released on the streaming service this movie that has a lot of actual dancing with. I think the person who is his partner now, right?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
Yeah, look it up.
But that's how I listen to Radiohead. Thank you, Francois, very much
Doug.
for joining us. Anything else you wanted? Any other songs that you were really stoked about this year?
Let's see. The Nightwish cover of Over the Hills and Far Away.
Yeah, you were super stoked for Nightwish.
Weezer, obviously. Green. Did we release anything by Green Day besides that song in the '90s song pack?
Nope, just the one.
Just that
this
one.
year.
The Manic Street Preachers, the Women Who Rock song pack. ABBA next week.
Yeah, that's been announced. That's good. That's this week. That's tomorrow.
Yes.
That's tomorrow. Cool. Well, thank you.
Mean
What?
Thursday.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow it's releasing.
Oh yes.
The stream for it will be Thursday.
Yes.
There you go. But I think we are about ready to give away our next prize. Thanks again, Francois, for joining us here on the stream.
And happy holidays.
And enjoy the eggnog.
Thank you.
If you haven't already.
Thank you, Chris, for the eggnog.
Right now, we are going to give away 2 mono Vertigo guitar cases. So these cases will be available for either your choice of guitar or bass guitar. Just if you win, you will let the moderator, which is either going to be Tawny or Brian Turner, you let them know that's UB Jurassic or Black Widow 9. If you want that in a bass guitar size or a 6-string guitar size, standard guitar size, and we will make sure to get you the correct case. As always, you do need to be following the channel at Rocksmith Game in order to win this or any of the other prizes that we'll be giving away today. And if you win, you're going to be reached out to buy Black Widow 9 or UB Jurassic. They will get from you your telephone number, your full name, and your shipping address. We do need all of that information in order to get your prize out to you. So good luck on these mono Vertigo cases. We have a number of these in the office now. We've given these away before in the past, and some of our backstage past members may have received mono Vertigo cases, and the appreciation of these cases has spread pretty widely through the studio. They are excellent travel cases, and the winner will get their choice of a bass or 6-string guitar case. We are almost ready to say hello to our next set of guests. While we're looking at me, the last prize, if I think that's all probably wrapped up right now, the guitar straps. But I did want to show off what those look like in real life. So excuse me for just a moment. Here we have one in brown and the one white guitar strap. Again, custom laser etched by our very own Dan Hamrick. Thank you, Dan, for helping bring some holiday cheer to this stream through these prizes, and hopefully later on, your face. So let's go ahead and say hello to our next set of guests. Andrew Levin.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Hey.
Chris Wu.
Hello.
Welcome to the holiday stream.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us. You came in kind of not last minute, but on Friday, I think we confirmed you.
Yeah, pretty close to the wire there.
Yeah. So you're jumping on.
Didn't get one of
for-
the early invites, Doug.
Well, I don't think you were you gone?
Nope.
Yo, oops. There goes that.
It's cool, man. We're not all cut out for early invites. It is.
Yeah.
Andrew Levin. So this is your selection.
Yeah.
Now I notice the guitar you're playing seems like an interesting choice
For this.
for the song. that
It's
you
because it
chose.
has good intonation.
Oh, okay.
And there's a lot of,
Nothing wrong with that.
a lot of stuff, a lot of high up notes.
Sure.
The other thing is it's Shoes guitar
No,
again, and I wanted to clarify the reason that one of the reasons I play Shoes guitars a lot is number one, I'm a guitar snob and I like playing nice guitars.
Sure.
Number two, I bike to work, and so I don't want to bike with my nice guitars, so I just kind of sometimes take shoes.
Sure. We'll give you that one. But the song that you're playing, you were playing Cat Stevens' "Morning Has Broken."
Mhm.
Why did you select this song?
Well, so I've always been a huge fan of transcribing things for other instruments,
Yeah.
And putting it on guitar, particularly piano. I went through a phase where I really wanted to sound like a piano player on
Yeah.
guitar, and I heard this piano part when I was transcribing it, and I was immediately really struck by how cool the piano part was. So
Yeah.
I thought to myself, like, I'll totally just transcribe this piano part, and
Yeah.
it'll be fun. And
Yeah.
it was fun at the time. And then I was,
is it
and,
not fun now that you're facing your?
yeah, well,
your
what happened
decisions?
was when this came out, I got sick that day.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought, like, oh, man, I'll totally demonstrate this part I never got to demonstrate. I'll be totally fine. And now I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. I should not have put myself through that. So, yeah.
Oh, also one thing. Now's probably a good time to say. I believe Lyle Wongsta in the chat. We were talking earlier about the sort of how many notes are in a song.
Yeah.
And I believe, Lyle Wongsta, who does a lot of maths
Okay.
around the internet, he said that Through the Fire and the Flames lead path has over 3,100 individual notes, not counting notes that are part of chords.
What about, is that including all of the skill levels, though?
That's
too?
at max level.
Max.
No, but I'm saying, like, if you include all of the, multiply that
different
by,
iterations.
we have up to 29 skill levels per
Right.
song. So,
Nope, this is just
yeah,
at
multiply that by.
at max difficulty, not counting chords,
Yeah.
over 3,100 individual
Yeah,
notes.
that's a lot of
That's
notes.
a lot of notes.
That's the most
yeah.
currently.
That's the most.
I remember for Rocksmith 1, I want to say the note leader was a Rush song. The newer Rush song, the
Okay.
one that was sold as a single, not part of the Rush pack.
Okay.
Um,
So that one was probably usurped.
yeah, I'm
Dragon
sure
Force?
it was, but that was like I think that was the Rocksmith 1 leader for quite
Okay.
a while.
So Morning Has Broken.
Fly by Night. or
Cat
something?
Stevens.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
Fly by Night.
Headlong Flight. I knew it
Headlong
had something to do with
Flight.
flight. Sorry, Rush.
By Night. Yeah, Fly by Night's not a newer one. I'm not sure what counts as new for Rush. I mean, I think new to me is probably not new to a lot of.
Yeah.
Well, it was like 2012 or something. Like,
Oh yeah, okay, that's
that's
pretty
new.
cool. I mean, that's still pretty new.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially for Rush.
7 years ago,
Yeah.
almost 8 years
Yeah.
ago, but
It was
still
new at the
relatively
time.
new.
It's
They've been
new
around.
for a
They've been
band that-
around for a while.
Yeah, since the 70s.
So, what are we looking forward to here with this Cat Stevens tune?
A lot of finger picking, and yeah,
and it's starting with the piano line.
yeah. So
do we-
most of the lead path is the piano part, and
Okay.
I also transcribed the rhythm guitar path. So I figured if you don't want to learn how to play the piano part, just play the
Play
rhythm
rhythm.
part.
Okay.
And,
Describe the bass line too.
Sure, please.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I
Yeah,
didn't
you can
track
take
it.
it.
Oh, you're asking me to describe
Yeah,
the
I
bass? Well,
mean,
why don't we hear it and then I'll describe it?
Yeah, yeah. That'll be good.
All right. Here is Morning Has Broken by Cat Stevens with Andrew Levin and Chris Wu. If you have any questions, please reach out to UB Jurassic or Black Widow 9.
Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for the springing, fresh from the morning. from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first breath. Praise for the sweetness of the red garden, sprung in completeness where his feet are. Mine is the sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the one night Eden saw play. Praise with elation, praise every morning, God's recreation of the new day. Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. Praise for the singing, praise for the morning, praise for them springing fresh from the world.
Such a sweet song.
It's a great tune, yeah.
I'm so calm right now.
I'm
Right?
not. I'm not at all calm.
So-
I should have started learning that before, like earlier, because oh my god, yeah.
So you did that totally finger style.
Yeah,
right? Not
yeah.
no hybrid picking.
No.
Could you? Is that one that you could do hybrid?
Yeah, I tried, but it's really tough
Sure.
because those like that
Oh yeah.
the it's
Is
really
that-
hard to
is
do
that-
hybrid.
Is that close to a Travis?
Not really.
I don't know anything about Travis picking.
Yeah.
No offense to any Travises. Who might
Yeah.
be.
And there's a bunch of like,
Travis also hates picking, so it's.
and that's really hard to do hybrid picking.
Yeah, it looks hard to do the way you're doing it.
Yeah, I should have
So-
practiced it more.
So tell us about is Kiesel?
Yes.
Did I pronounce that right?
Yeah, I'm going
Uh,
to tell you all about it.
tell us all about
because-
Brian Shu's guitar.
Yeah. So he
'Cause it's a
doesn't.
funny-
so
it's
he
a- it's a
doesn't get
funny-
that
it's a
joy
funny-
to talk about it.
It's a funny choice for this song, just aesthetically.
Yeah,
Right?
no, totally. Again, it had 90% to do with the intonation because I
Yeah.
need to change the strings on the
It was
guitar
super
that I
clean.
normally play.
Now, for when you were playing that with the finger style, it seemed like you had a very very delicate touch.
Mm.
What is that? Is that a correct read? Which isn't something that I normally would associate with you with your playing. Just you don't seem to be the most sort of delicate.
Oh, I see how
Picker.
it is.
Yeah, I know. Wow, way to just judge Andrew like that.
You
How do you
for
ex-
your information,
how do you
man.
expect him to
no,
approach
I didn't,
what he has broken?
I didn't say you weren't precise. I didn't say you weren't accurate. I didn't
I'm
say you
not
weren't
kidding,
clean.
dude. I
You
play
just-
really
you
hard,
have a
dude.
heavy handed. You've admitted as
I'm
much
just kidding,
before.
dude. I know that I'm not delicate. Yeah.
But this seemed very much like you almost were playing sort of tapping, like just the depression of the strings carried a lot of the.
Well, yeah. I mean, first of all, it's a delicate song, so
Yeah.
it calls for that. But also, just like the speed of it, you can't really do that and play it super hard. You know, it just doesn't sound good. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. And Chris Wu, same question to you that I've asked many of our other guests today. What song from this past year was the one that you were the most drawn to?
So one song that I actually forgot released in this year until we verified it in the year-end thing that I'm gonna have to call out is shout out to Dan also on this one. Stacy's Mom by
Oh,
Fountains
yeah.
of Wayne.
Yeah. Yeah, almost shocking that didn't end up on today's set
Yeah,
list.
I didn't have enough heads up on if I could pick a song
Oh,
to
yeah.
be on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so,
Probably should
but I did play that in the first stream, the first go around. I
Sure.
played the guitar on that part. That's a fun, approachable, like
Yeah.
I don't know, power pop, Dan. Like power pop. Yeah, it's a good categorization of that band. Really fun song to play and learn and everything. So that's one of my top picks. I gotta say.
Sounds good.
Also, the wrestling theme one, just 'cause that was a fun one to do.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
also happened. And the Social Stars one. Like, those were two I really liked just because they went outside of what we normally do, and I think it was an interesting little departure. And I hope people enjoyed it if they tried it out or gave it a shot.
And I'll go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and answer my own question because I was talking about it during the Radiohead tune. My other favorite song that I think I might have played on stream at some point was "Straight On" by Heart. The bass lines for "Straight On" and for "Jigsaw" very fun for me, and they're probably my most played from this year.
You know what's going to be fun? I think the ABBA bass lines are going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
are.
That's
I could tell you. Dancing Queen. Oh my God, that bass line was
And we do have a couple
Awesome.
of questions about the Kiesel.
okay.
The first one from Extreme Salt
Okay.
wants to know what do you need to do when you retune the headless? How is that thing retuned?
Okay. Well, so I can answer this because I did own a headless
Yeah.
guitar for many years. Basically, unlike most guitars where you're putting the ball in on this side and it's going against the bridge this way, you actually it looks like this guitar isn't like that. But my guitar was
So you
like
have no idea.
had a double
you gotta-
double ball ended, so there was a ball on this side because I had a Steinberger. But what it looks like, looks like the ball's going in this way. Then you put it in over here, and it looks like these strings are actually cut off with like a wire cutter or something like that. And the tuners are all over here, so it's
So
like
those cylinders are the tuners.
yeah, so it's like extra Floyd rows, like
So just holds in. So to
Yeah.
retune it, do you need a tool or can you just?
no, you
to
don't need
the-
a tool.
okay.
No.
And then restringing, how complex is that?
Not any more complex than a lot of the Fenders where, like a lot of those Strats where you put it in and you have to clip it. It's just like that. So essentially what you have is these little, you know what? You actually, I'm looking at it, and you do need a tool to put new strings in, not to tune, but to put, because
Sure.
there's a couple of, there's some screws in here. This is not my guitar, ladies and gentlemen. This is Brian
Really?
Schu's
Is
guitar.
it not?
Brian
Yeah,
Schu's
yeah.
guitar. So I'm making this up as I go. But
I do it all the time.
but there are screws right here, and looks like you lift them up, you put the string in, you clamp down with the screw, and you don't actually need a wire cutter until you've already tuned the guitar up and everything.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Cool. And one more question about that guitar. Rubber Dave asks, does the guitar itself help with that soft touch? that we mentioned?
No, actually.
No?
No, this guitar is, I guess this kind of a guitar actually, I feel like it kind of forces you to play a little softer because
Is the
it's...
action so low,
Yeah,
or-
the action's low, and it's kind of one of those guitars that I think it sounds great in clean tone, but I think of it more as a dirty tone kind of rock type of guitar, as opposed to a more edgy clean tone guitar. Like I think of like a thin tone Telly as having kind of like an edgy clean tone type of sound, and you don't have to play very hard, and it'll give you a little bit of that bite back.
Sure.
Whereas this guitar, you kind of have to play quietly, otherwise it'll kind of buzz, and the tone. It's great if you're playing spanky funk kind of stuff like
Like
that.
really like bright.
Yeah, but it's really bright, and it's not meant. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Worth doubling down that the technique of playing with the correct amount of touch and not going
Yes.
100% on each strum or every time you pick a note. Pretty important skill to have.
Oh, yeah.
In Rocksmith, we have Gone Wailing, which is a guitar-cade game that's supposed to be about dynamics.
Yep.
And just getting used to making sound, making notes ring out, both when you're playing softer or louder and
Right.
stuff. So
Right.
good thing to drill. Also noting the note highway, like how we have certain notes that are accented and certain ones that aren't.
If they
Yeah.
have the white border around
Yeah.
them, they're going to be played with more enthusiasm.
Yes, but to a degree, it's also like just knowing the song though,
Yeah,
because
right.
even if it's not accented, two songs can be very different amounts. Like this is definitely softer.
Yeah.
The volume and intensity with which you play, coupled with your vibrato and everything, is really what can make you have your own unique voice. That and timing. When you're playing maybe the same set of notes that somebody else is playing. And music is a language. It really is in so many ways no different than a language. And if you have somebody who is speaking at the exact same volume all the time, they even did a Saturday Night Live sketch about that. It's so weird. So like playing an instrument at the same volume all of the time is not going to be an effective way to make a compelling performance unless you're like really going for that. But
there's definitely a place for that.
Yeah.
That's one of those things where Rocksmith is great at telling you if you hit the notes right. But to a point, you should always be cognizant of what you're playing and to listen to your own playback to know that you're playing not only the notes correctly, but also in the way that you play them.
Always use your ears, both when listening to the recording as well as listening to yourself play along. Because the accents that we have, it's pretty much a binary system.
Right.
They're accented or they aren't. So any dynamics between the lines are going to be left up to you, the player. Well, thank you both very much for coming by and playing for this year's holiday stream. Right now, we're going to take a brief break. We're going to watch a video. If this is your first time that you've ever seen one of the Rocksmith streams, well, what a time to join. Also, this video is going to explain how Rocksmith works. So if you have any questions, make sure I'm go to the right video. This video will explain how Rocksmith works. If you are not familiar with Rocksmith, you'll learn all about it here. And we'll be back in just a few more minutes with a lot more giveaways and more music. Thank you.
Rocksmith's giving me that confidence that I can learn to play the guitar and master completely.
I've struggled with every other way, and I found this way to be the best. And that's like an honest fact.
I put on my bass, I plug it into my computer, and I'm playing real music. I'm playing an actual song right out of the box.
I've got some sweet, awesome guitar riffs that I can pull out anytime.
There are songs that I was struggling with, and now I'm just like, this is easy.
Rocksmith 2014 provides a comprehensive, complete package for learning the guitar. Whether you want to learn a song, whether you want to compete, whether you want to create your own music, you have everything you need or could desire with playing the guitar.
Rocksmith comes with a real-tone cable that allows you to plug your electric guitar or bass directly into your PlayStation 3 system, your Xbox 360, your PC or Mac.
Rocksmith features over 50 plus songs right there on the disc. We also have an expansive library of over 200 songs available to download.
When you start playing a song on Rocksmith, it starts off very easy, with just one note at a time. We then use a system called dynamic difficulty that adjusts the level based on how you're doing.
As you play and you prove that you can get it right, it will actually level you up. It's responding dynamically to your skill level.
Within any song, there's some part that is difficult or some part that's going to be difficult for the person learning it. What Rocksmith allows you to do with the Riff Repeater is to go in there, isolate that particular section of the song or the riff that is difficult, and really allows you to repeat it and work on it, change it in a way that you can learn it, and then you can go back and put what you've learned into the song.
We all can use tools to help our students. The mini games, they're basically guitar exercises that I've taught many times, but disguised in like a really fun interactive game. And I could see where a student that's struggling to learn their chords could probably do it for an hour and not even realize that they were actually practicing, but they're really improving.
I really like the session mode where it kind of opens up the possibility for you to kind of freeform and also gives you a roadmap of where to play within that key. And then the kind of feel of, you know, just throwing you changes once in a while like a real band will.
It's very much like playing a video game, but it's obviously this learning software that is much more than that.
Games, because of the feedback involved, are much more effective at teaching people than if people just learn the concepts from a book or a lecture.
Earlier this year, RSG was commissioned to conduct a research project. We pre-recruited approximately 200 people nationally, gave them the software to use at home for 3 weeks. A large majority noticed a significant improvement of their guitar skills. Their speed and movement on the fret improved significantly. Rocksmith was considered the fastest way to learn guitar.
I learned so much in 60 days. I didn't think I would have picked it up as quickly as I did. I'm super comfortable with all the techniques, everything, so it's great.
With the 60-day challenge, I was able to play things that I had thought impossible with ease, and it was not a problem at all. Rocksmith is definitely the fastest way to learn the guitar. I don't know if I could have learned the guitar any other way.
If you want to learn, Rocksmith is the way to go. I can't believe that I've learned so much in such a small amount of time.
I would definitely recommend Rocksmith to other people. In fact, I have.
Rocksmith costs way less than any private lessons you can do.
Rocksmith works because it's fun, it's entertaining.
I've told people about Rocksmith. They're like, oh yeah, I've heard about this Rocksmith. I'm like, do it, it works.
And welcome back, everyone, to this year's Rocksmith 2019 holiday stream. Thank you for joining us. If this is your first time watching the stream, you just saw what Rocksmith is all about. If you're not familiar with what we do, for this year's stream, or for this stream in particular, this is an annual stream. We do towards the end of the year to sort of look back, have a little bit of a retrospective on the past year's music in Rocksmith. Thank you for joining us. And now I'd like to say hello to our next set of guests, Ryken and Travis Kindred.
Hello.
Hello.
Doug.
Is this the first time you two have played together on the
No,
stream?
we have played another Tour de Force song.
Oh.
The Lamb of God. Yep. That's right.
Oh, yeah. That's right. I think Redneck. So this is, we've got some more shred coming up right now.
This is
Allison
like
Hill.
old school shred.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
This is the stuff that Lamb of God was probably listening to.
Yeah, I think that's a safe
when
bet.
they were younger guitarists. You are playing Allison Hill by Annihilator. So
I was thinking about it's not a very holiday themed song, but
it
is a cool song.
That wasn't a restriction on the.
It's like anti-holiday.
Last year, I think I played Ghost, so it's all good. Which
Right.
there was some speculation I would this year, but I didn't. Allison Hill, Annihilator. So Rye, this was your pick. What? It seems obvious to me, but for the viewers out there, what made you grab up this song?
I always have just thought it was a cool song, and it definitely has a bunch of really cool parts.
Yeah.
It's like a well-composed, I don't know, it just has all these cool parts. It's like, it's not your standard like AABA
right.
rock song. So I guess like similar to the Lamb of God, but like these parts are like kind of unrelated. There's a time change or two in there.
Okay.
And a lot of tempo changes. Yeah. It's just some good guitar playing.
And the bass is no slouch.
No,
either.
it's it's just like Ryan was saying. You have a lot of different parts, and they're all very different from each other, which is emblematic, I think, of the band and of this era. But like what makes it difficult is that the bass has a lot of fills, and the fills do not repeat.
Right.
They're very, very specific, and they're different every single time.
Wow.
Yeah, and so it was super weird. Like I know I've heard it 1,000 times, and I'm like, oh, the bass part's so great. Then playing it, I was like, oh, this is tricky. This is especially tricky.
They did what now?
Yeah.
So with the song, are you injured? Are you okay? I know
Me?
you had a
Oh,
performance recently.
yeah. So I had a really big performance weekend, and I was doing this really awesome big band arrangement of Mars from the Planets.
Oh yeah.
But it was a very intense bass line, and I was playing on upright, and I actually kind of hurt my fingers. So I have some Band-Aids and some tape, which is fine. If this were like a recording, I would do other things, but we didn't have any super glue. So
Right.
I did as good as I could, but it sounds fine.
Okay. And did you have any of Chris Wu's eggnog?
What? There's eggnog?
Yeah.
Oh,
I did. It was delicious.
We'll get to the song.
I am
It's legit.
yeah, can you do that song at 200%
speed?
speed? I would love to just get to the game.
You don't want that. You don't want that.
No, I really don't, actually.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Allison Help.
Can we get a drink order in?
Yeah, just like get that in like off screen.
And if you have any questions, please reach out to UB Jurassic or Black Widow 9 in the chat.
a great crushing rhythm tone.
Yeah. So you'd almost have like two different favorite songs within that song.
Absolutely.
Like Travis, you got to do some harmonies with
Mhm.
Rye.
Absolutely,
You got
yeah.
to do some counterpoint with Rye.
Yeah, that whole like it's like D harmonic minor, bum 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 bum.
Yeah,
bum.
yeah.
Yeah, the bass goes up and does a few little extra things, which is fun.
That's really
And some of those licks are just like extra tricky. There's one that's just like yeah.
Yeah, that sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like way faster.
You just get those patterns down.
Yeah, I mean, there's no other way to put it. I mean, like, so like when I'm directing an orchestra or a band or a student, the one thing I always say is that like you have to know how it goes. As soon as you know how it goes and you know what's about to happen, then it's so much easier. And that just comes with practice and familiarity with the material. You know, like when you see an orchestra play like a 30-minute piece of music that's extremely complicated, they're not sight reading it. They already know what they're about to do, and they're not doing anything that they haven't already done. So it's just putting in the time.
That goes for the guitar part as well, especially the solo, which is an awesome solo. But you could tell it's like fully composed solo. It's It's not blues licks. It's like. Yeah, and I definitely have worked on that all morning.
Right.
Because you could tell I wasn't even looking at the screen.
I saw some people. I saw some people pointing out that you practiced, and I will say you've
practiced
been,
for a change.
You've been out of town for a little bit, so you got in this morning, and I was like, "Hey, Ryan, just as a reminder."
I'm like, yeah, whatever. What is it? AC/DC? It's something easy, right? You're like Allison. Okay, hold the calls.
So yeah, thank you very much for pulling that through. I did have a couple questions from the chat.
Yeah.
The question as it's written, this is from Wolftron1. What's your favorite string gauge to play with in Rocksmith? I don't know if there's a difference between what you prefer to use when using Rocksmith and just playing sort of on your own.
For on guitar, I would prefer 10s, I think, for Rocksmith, just because that's a good all-around gauge to cover different styles. A little lighter than I may use 11s, like for jazz or blues or something like that. I think 10s is generally like light gauge strings is good for rock, especially like bending strings and soloing and stuff. But it's not too light. I think if you go 9s or 8s, then you're like playing spaghetti. And also, Rocksmith has a lot of detuned stuff too, so you got to scope for that.
Right.
Generally, you'd want heavier strings for like D standard. I would up the strings up from like a default 10. If I was really doing like a whole gig and I wanted my guitar to be solid, I would go to 11s.
Okay.
Especially when you're doing solos and you're tuned down a whole step or even a half step, but definitely a whole step, and you go to do bends, it's a different tension, so it's easier to overbend in that scenario.
Yeah.
Whereas if you have the heavier strings, it gives you a little more resistance.
Now you gig frequently. Does a set of strings pretty much last like a gig for you, or can they go
it lasts longer. It depends. Some like I do a rock gig that is D standard, so I have a guitar that's just basically set up for that, dedicated to that job only, and that band doesn't play that often, so I can get away with like the same set of strings because I'm not playing it all the time, but. And the other bands, it's no big deal if I break a string because I have a backup at hand. So,
Travis, same questions for you.
So for bass, for 4-string, I prefer a 45, just your standard. Like that's what you normally find when you find just the sort of middle of the road pack. For 5-string, I usually do a 40, just because when you add more strings to a bass, the string spacing gets a little bit tighter, and so having a slightly lighter gauge string gives you a little bit more space in between those strings, which I really like. And also, I do a lot of chords. I do a lot of like bass harmony, and so I like to have a lot more sort of a room to kind of move my fingers around. It does require you to be a little bit more accurate in terms of finger placement.
Sure.
Right. You have to be right on, but it's not like the with the 38s or 37s or whatever, that super tiny strings that you see are really popular for like tapping or really popular for like super fast stuff. But I play a lot of funk and a lot of rock, and so I like to have my heavy strings. But in terms of changing, like I am notorious for not changing my strings.
Bass strings are expensive too.
They're expensive. Like
especially
a good set
5-string. Like
a good set of 5-string is like what I pay for is probably $38-$40. and that's like with a deal.
Right.
I usually use DRs. I love DRs because they sound really good right at first, but then that dies pretty quickly. But that dead sound lasts forever, and that dead sound is fine.
And that's
As opposed to like
you're
as opposed
fine
to
living in that.
Yeah. So, some strings have like a really great sound that lasts for a little while and they kind of die, and you're
Sure.
just sort of stuck with that dead sound. DRs, I found they relax into that sound, and it's really nice. The thing it does get me to change my strings pretty often are recordings.
Okay.
When I have a high profile gig, I'll usually change strings, play them for a few days beforehand so they get kind of a little worn down. Because the last thing you want is like beginning of the day it sounds amazing, end of the day it doesn't sound as good. Because then you just have to keep changing. It's the only way to keep that that string life up. But you let them die just enough to be sort of reliable in terms of their tone.
Speaking of recording gigs, Toy Machine SH. And I don't know if you want to talk about this, but Toy Machine SH says Travis should tell us about the soundtrack that he's on.
Oh, yeah. So, humble brag. I recorded upright and electric bass for the Steven Universe movie, if you're familiar with the Steven Universe cartoon or brand. And then just this weekend, we released Steven Universe Future, the latest season, and I'm all over that. I'm in a bunch of tracks on that, and it's a really, really wonderful gig. That cartoon and that sort of and its message are extremely important to me just personally, and I've been a huge fan of the show. And then through a very interesting series of like connections and friends and weird gigs, I got in touch with the composers who were looking for a bassist.
Yeah.
And it's been really wonderful. I love working for them.
Good.
And that is just like a dream gig. It's so much fun.
Do they need a guitar player?
They already have 3.
Well, congratulations on the gig, Travis.
Thank you so much.
A couple more questions about strings, and then I will let you guys head out.
Sounds good.
Tonewood FFIO asks, is the 13 to 65 string gauge a little bit of an overkill for B standard? Or is that within acceptable?
B standard is no, I don't think that's too
standard
low.
is- Okay.
You could also get like the easy way, if you want it to
Like
feel
a
like a normal, is to get a 7-string
That's what
set
I was
and
gonna
not do the
say.
top string.
Yeah, that's what I used to do on bass.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I'm not a guitarist, but like when I've done
5-string
stuff like that on bass, it feels different.
Yeah.
It has a similar tension to a normal guitar as opposed to like having that sort of slinky tension that you get from down tuning.
Yeah. And then flat wound or round wound strings on bass. What's the difference tone-wise? Asks Horwich Blue 1.
This is a great question. So for those of you that don't know, a flat wound string is a string that all strings have a core for bass. All strings have a core, and then they're wrapped in another string. Most electric basses and electric guitars use a round wrap. So the wire that wraps around that center string is round. Now, a flat wound string is where all of that it's a flat piece of steel that gets wrapped around the string. That's used for violins. It's used for the cello family, and it's used. You see it really, really often in sort of 60s era bass playing. Paul McCartney is a very famous user of flat wounds on a fretted bass.
Yeah.
A lot of people have associated them with fretless basses. So you see a lot of people say like, "Oh, you're getting a fretless bass, got to get flat wounds." Now, that's a little bit of a misnomer. Like, if you look at very famous players like Jaco Pastorius, very famous for ripping out all of his frets, filling it with wood filler, and playing with round wound strings.
Now, is that advised because there's less friction when you're sliding, and fretless, you're implied you're going to be sliding a lot?
It is also a misnomer that you'd be sliding a whole lot. It is, you can, and those slides sound really great. There's no interruption of the note. You don't hear, like on a fretted instrument, you hear like ba 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 ba. On a fretless instrument, you hear ba, which is a nice tone. You can really get a nice vibrato. It's a lovely thing. The primary thing is that like in fretless land, so like violins, cello, bass, upright bass, flat wound is 100% the way you have to go because you can't bow a round wound string. You just can't.
Okay.
The flat wound strings have a much darker tone. They have a much flatter response, and they push a lot of air at the very beginning of the note. So you hear a lot of like f instead of a t. Where a round wound is extremely precise. You have a lot of attack. You have a lot of strength. You get a lot of this shiny sparkle, whereas a flat wound string will give you a lot of this very kind of dark tone, which I love. Like one of my favorite things, and this is sort of going against my own mantra, is just a P bass, flat wounds with a pick and a big piece of foam in the back. Yeah, it is one of my favorite bass sounds. It's just this like plunk, 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 and it's really iconic, I think, for a lot of music, and I love it so much.
Are you using the foam in front of the saddle to sort of
yeah,
like
yeah.
basically
So
like,
you
like
take
a permanent palm mute?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. It's not uncommon. You see like a big sort of high density foam that's put under the strings between the pickup against the saddle, and it shouldn't be like muting the strings completely. You should still hear a nice little bit of decay, but it does give you this like palm mute sound all the time, but it's a little bit softer and a little bit more consistent. A great bass that does it like it's built in is the Ovation Magnum series of basses, which I think there are 3, the 1, 2, and 3. The 2 is really cool. It has faders instead of knobs. I love that bass. I have a 1 and I love it, but it has this big tab that you can pull up and a mute just comes up to meet the strings. And it's awesome. But yeah, I love that tone. When we did Princess Leia's Stolen Death Star Plans live, I was playing on 4001 Rickenbacker with a pick, and I was muting the heck out of that with flat wounds. Loved it. But long story short, TLDR, there's no wrong or right way. If you use round wounds on a fretless instrument, you can damage the board. They will dig in, so just be aware of that. You can also go with what are called half rounds.
Yeah.
And that's where you take Dan loves them. I bought a bass from Dan. They had half wounds. Actually, the first time I ever used them. They're pretty cool. It's a round wound string that gets ground. And so it's still round wound, but like all of the edges are really, really smooth. And it's an interesting hybrid. It's its own sound. I really like it for the bass I bought from Dan, which allows you the chance to go into an upright sound or emulate all these things. So you can kind of or a fretless sound.
Yeah.
But the whole point of strings, tone wood, pickups, everything, it's all about your quest for tone, right?
Yeah.
Do you like the sound? Does that sound make you want to play more music? Does that sound remind you of sounds that you've heard before? All of those questions are really important and are really at the core of what all of these different mixtures mean. So I hope that long answer for a very simple question directs you to play some more music, because that's really why we're here.
I think so. Thank you both very much. And speaking of more music, right now we're going to have our next giveaway. This is going to be for a lot more music. We are doing our All Access Pass, which is what I've renamed the Golden Ticket. But I think everybody else is still calling it the Golden Ticket, so let's just stick with that. This is going to be a code for Steam that will get you all of the Rocksmith content. This is Rocksmith 1. This is Rocksmith 2014. The code itself may not get you up until the current DLC, but the winner, we will reach out to the winner and we'll make sure that they get all of the current content. So there might just be a little bit more back and forth, but we will get you those songs along the way. So if you are interested in winning the Rocksmith Remastered All Access Pass, please listen to UB Jurassic and Black Widow 9 in the chat right now. They will tell you how you can win this prize. This is going to net you over 1,500 songs. If you're not a Steam player, this can be the way to become a Steam player very quickly for Rocksmith. So please listen to UB Jurassic and Black Widow 9 for your chance to win pretty much all the music up to now. So this is big. This is as far as just value of prizes. I'm not gonna estimate how much it is, but it's a lot. You're looking at $3 a song, adjusting for packs. It's a big prize. So it's going to get you all the content again from Rocksmith through Rocksmith 2014 and the DLC for each. So yeah, please enter now and good luck on that prize. Again, if you're just joining us, we're well over the halfway through point, but thank you for making it anyway. My name is Doug Lilly. I am the host and community developer for Rocksmith, and this is our special annual holiday stream, the Rocksmith Holiday Stream 2019. In the chat, we have UB Jurassic and we have Black Widow 9. That is Brian Turner and Tawny, respectively, the community manager and community representative for Rocksmith. They are helping with raffles. They're helping with questions. If you have any questions for us here in the studio, make sure to reach out to one of them, and they'll get your questions to me, and I can ask our guests, or just answer it myself if I happen to know the answer. Speaking of guests, we have some very nice guests coming up right now. Oh, They're almost ready. I think it's close enough. We can introduce our next guests. David Stevens.
Nice.
QA czar.
That's
nice.
subjective.
You're nice. You're nicer than you let on, I guess.
Does that make me naughty?
Dan, you're less nice than you let on. Dan Emmerich, welcome.
Oh, hi, Doug.
Hi. Oh,
Oh,
look.
how are
What's
you?
that in your hand?
Oh, this.
What's that?
This is what blinds the cameras. This is one
it's-
of the ornaments that I think everybody who wins a physical
a
prize.
physical prize will get one of each.
The wooden ornaments, which are the 2018
the
edition,
future
and
the past.
the mirrored acrylic 2019
and folk
edition
or pop.
Yeah,
Pop
I mean,
and
it's sort of either, but
brand
yeah.
it however you want.
Doug, I mean, you
Sure.
said that I'm not very nice, so
No,
I'm going to live up to that.
I kid.
I'm extremely disappointed that there's no holiday decorations, nobody dressed up.
Yeah.
Except for me. I am
Yeah.
clearly I am a tree. I
You're wearing
have
a
my
green-
my
okay.
trunk, right? And then I have my green like pine, and then I'm snow covered all the way to the top.
I don't
so
know.
here and David
we
dressed up
discussed it.
like a lumberjack, which makes me feel very unsafe. So yeah,
I
there's
brought
no
my
Santa,
axe.
There's no Santa hats this
I'm
year.
wearing a sweater.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no, like that's great. And so did Jared, and you guys looked fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm wearing
No antlers, no
I'm wearing,
silly stuff.
I'm wearing holiday socks.
Are we going to get to see those? No, because yes, they are holiday socks, but no, we're not going to get to see them. Now everybody wants to # Doug's ankles. #
Nobody
Doug's
wants to see
ankles.
that.
Yeah, they're. I mean, it's a different holiday.
DJ, stop ankling.
They're Halloween socks.
Damn it.
Oh.
I was gonna go along with it. I was like, they look like pumpkins to me,
Give
but
you the
okay.
benefit of the doubt there.
They're pumpkins. I mean, you can have pumpkins in December.
Anyway, happy holidays, even if you're still
in
celebrating
December.
Halloween, Doug.
Always. Every day is Halloween. So who actually did you both? Did you mutually pick this song? Or
No, I did not. Like Chris Wu,
Sure.
I did not get a chance
Sure.
to choose a song.
Well, you jumped
because
on-
I would have done Stacy's Mom in a
Yeah, okay.
heartbeat.
Yep.
But when you said I'm looking for players, and I'm like, oh, what do you have so far? He said, well, David's going to do the Hollies, Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress. I said, I'm in.
All right.
So I didn't know that I was shutting off my own thing, but yeah.
But Stacey's Mom is what you would have. Did you
almost
Did you
certainly.
not play that one during?
Both
stream?
Chris and I played it because Chris.
it's not too late.
I know, like we could both sight read it.
I
It's
don't have anything else
fine.
to do today after this.
No. Chris had claimed it before I got a chance to, which I think is
Sure.
hilarious because I am the biggest, loudest Fountains of Wayne fan on the team, and I was just heartbroken when he said he's going to do guitar. I'm like, well, I'm going to do guitar too. I think we both played the same part. So yeah, wah wah. Fountains of Wayne broke up. It's fine.
Oh no.
And they closed the actual store in Wayne, New Jersey that sold fountains. That's what the name comes from. Fountains of Wayne was the name of like.
So it is.
Oh,
now,
it's gone no matter
so
how
that
you
is a,
cut
that
it.
is a like historic.
Yes,
an
it was an
artifact.
actual place,
It
and
is an
now it's
artifact,
probably a
and
parking
now
lot.
It's not going to be
Did
recognized.
you visit
at
it ever?
No,
Oh.
no. This is all after
This is
I
in New
moved to
Jersey?
California.
Oh, I
yeah.
see. I
Wayne,
see.
New Jersey.
Well, I mean, it seems like it would have been a good reason to go back.
No, there's never a good reason to go back to New Jersey.
Oh no,
Not if you grew up there. Sorry.
David Stevens, why did you select
Oh,
One
man.
Cool Woman in a Black Dress?
I've loved this song since I was a kid,
Mhm.
and it was one of the, the songs coming onto the project where I was just like, we need that song. Yeah. I mean, if you were a DJ in Western Michigan in the '80s, you
Yeah,
got a phone call
like I
from
was.
me,
Sure.
probably multiple times. I actually used to call up and request this
Yeah.
song on the radio back then. That's what you did.
Because,
and
if
it's just
you wanted to hear a song.
we
You wanted to
finally
hear a
got
song.
it, and for whatever reason I don't recall, I wasn't able to hop on for the guitar for when we debuted it. So I was like, hey, second chance.
Well, I'm glad you had your chance now. Any other songs that you were interested in?
My
maybe
runner-up
second
was
picks?
"Ignorance," the Paramore song from
Yeah.
early on last year. Well, this year, I guess.
It was, that was the
wow.
first pack of January this year.
Yeah, that's just really fun to play.
Yeah, that all of those Paramore songs are.
They are. They are
a lot of fun. Dan, did you have any runners up?
Nope.
Okay, just
Stacey's Mom. Honestly, this is one of those songs that I would hear on the radio and love it and never knew who it was because the Hollies aren't really well known. So
and this style was a departure for them.
Yeah.
At the time.
So this is one of those ones where you get tired of going. I don't know who that is, and I finally
I
looked
love
it
that
up.
Creedence song.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
easy to misidentify, but yeah, I
this-
took it upon myself to go find out who it was, and then I wound up, I believe, was this one of the ones that I may have worked out the bass line for my wife when she was learning how to play bass? There was a handful of songs she wanted to learn. Little Green Bag was one of them by George Baker's selection, which I kind of put in the same sort of pocket as this. But I think this is one that I may have actually helped work out, which does not explain why I'm so bad at playing the bass, which you'll soon see.
All right. Well, here is Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress. Again, if you have any questions, please reach out to be Jurassic or Black Widow 9 in the chat. More prizes, more music coming up. I didn't know where we were
Key
about to go
change.
there.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah, it's such a fun song.
Very straightforward on the bass, but so satisfying to play those roots and lets the guitar sort of do those partial chords, those dances up top. It's really nice.
Yeah.
These little bump notes.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the guitar paths. Too.
Yes.
Yeah. It's
there's some layers there.
Yeah, it's a lot more, I guess, complex.
Yeah, and you can really tell when you realize that the lead path is not playing, the chords in the background of the song there.
Right. Just the way that the two guitars are sort of feeding off one another.
Yeah.
It has an almost and I say this as sort of kindly as possible, almost mechanical, where you've just got this
a little bit, and there's a spot too where the main rhythm turns around on one instrument but not the other, which makes for a little cool effect.
Yeah.
in just that one little spot if you can catch it.
Interesting. Cool. Yeah. So what was your second? Your runner-up?
Paramore.
Paramore. Cool. Well, I want to thank you both for joining us here. Let me make sure.
Merry holidays, Doug.
Yeah. Merry holidays to you both.
It's getting there.
What was your favorite alternate song?
My favorite alternate song was Straight On.
Yeah.
By Heart.
Okay.
Which I think I did play maybe on one of the exercise pack streams.
Oh,
But
okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
those two bass lines are the ones that I've seen the most play from me this year.
If I'm going with favorites, there
yeah.
was the metal mix too.
Sure. Yeah, I know Davidian seemed.
Oh yeah. I mean, the
pretty
whole
excited
pack.
about. Thank you both very much. Now we are going to give away our third prize from last. Yeah. So this prize and two more. Right now we are giving away a Marshall DSL 15C amp. It's a big one. For your chance to win, please listen to the instructions from UB Jurassic or Black Widow 9. Once again, that is Brian Turner and Tawny, the community manager and community community representative for Rocksmith, and they will give you instructions on how you can win a Marshall amplifier. This amplifier, it's a combo amp, has classic gain, ultra gain, has a tone shift button, studio grade digital reverb included in the amp. There is a switch. It's normally a 15 watt amp, but you can switch it down to a 7.5 watt amp if you need to make things a little bit quieter, a little gentler. If you're in an apartment, maybe cut it down to 7.5 so you're not making your neighbors as angry. 12-inch custom voice Celestion speaker and a two-way foot switch included. So that you can make use of those built-in effects. If you are the winner, you will be contacted via Whisper from Brian or Tawny, and they will get from you your full name, your telephone number, and your shipping address. Once again, we do need all of that information in order to ship your prize to you. We do ship internationally, and if you are an international, by international, I mean outside of the U.S., because I'm currently in the U.S. If you are a winner outside of the U.S., please split up your address line by line so that I don't mess up your address and so that you actually receive your prize, because I would feel really bad, and I imagine most of you would feel really bad if I wrote your address down wrong and sent it to somewhere else or nowhere else at all. So please, if you are outside of the U.S., split up your address line by line, and we'll get you that prize. Again, all physical prize winners are receiving 2 custom Rocksmith ornaments created by our very own Dan Emmerich. And good luck to all of you out there. 2 more prizes coming up after this. Right now, we are ready to say hello to our penultimate guests. Yeah, next last guests. Brian Chu.
Hello.
Hello.
That's
Sharon
mine.
Marmito.
Hello.
Welcome. So this. Oh, hey, it's the Kiesel.
Yeah, it's my guitar.
Were you asked if
Yeah, Andrew asked.
Like, he's on the board now, so I
Yeah.
guess he can't be too mad.
Everything he said about this guitar is wrong, by the way.
Okay, tell us the truth. What's the truth of this guitar?
This guitar is the truth.
Oh,
wow,
that's bold words.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Okay, all right.
Cool story.
Good riff. Sharon, this was your selection.
Yes, it was.
So the two of you are playing "Somebody to Love"
That's
by
right.
Queen. This for Rocksmith was a pretty big year for Queen.
Yeah.
We had a lot of it. We had the special
Who's that?
sweepstakes. Queen. I think they're English.
They speak English?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but I think they're from England.
Is there a king?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, there's King Diamond.
Oh, okay,
Yeah. Sharon, what made you select "Somebody to Love"?
I don't know. I think I actually played this on the week it came out,
Oh, okay.
and I had. It's just like one of my favorite songs for 2019, like all the releases and stuff.
And
so.
it has a nice, almost, I don't want to say bouncy bass line, but it's very active, and it's sort of like it moves everything along
Yeah.
very nicely. What are we looking for on guitar? Are you playing lead or rhythm here?
I'm playing lead,
Okay.
and it's just mostly triad arpeggios and stuff like that. And then there's a nice Brian May solo in it.
Slow?
Slow.
Solo?
Solo.
Solo.
Yeah, no, it's great. Brian May has always been one of my favorite
Sure.
guitar players. Like his written solos are just like always so good. Like, and his sound, his tone, just I don't know.
All right. Well, let's take a listen. This is Somebody to Love by Queen as selected.
If his solos were food, I'd give him 3 Michelin stars every
That's
time.
a lot. I mean, that's pretty outstanding for Michelin stars.
What's the highest?
I don't know.
3?
3.
Maybe just keep adding on.
Yeah, they should add more. I don't know. DJ solo.
What happened? Did you like sneeze in the middle of the song or something? I don't know.
Modulation.
Brian likes to have fun and sometimes not tell other people that he's having fun.
Okay.
I found my jingle bells, by the way.
Cool.
I just did some wrong things. That's about it.
Were they intentional?
No.
Could you have passed it off as intentional if you would have
Possibly.
thought about it? Because that seems like the kind of thing you might do for fun.
Like mess up for fun?
In a very specific way.
Like
a fret off.
Just be
just
bad.
stay. It's just
Oh,
stay.
yeah.
Just like
No,
stay a fret off.
Yeah,
for
I used to do
a couple
that
measures.
when someone like, so when like, Rye would be testing something, or like Sam would be play testing something.
Yeah.
I would like stand behind him
just
and
play.
then just play everything that he was playing half a step up, and he'd be like, "What's going on? I don't,
You're a monster."
I don't understand."
That's
Oh.
best work environment
Uh,
ever.
It was great.
Joshua David asked.
Brian
if-
McCune used to love it.
I saw that you noticed I was looking at your hand. It's because Joshua David was asking if she was playing with a coin, because Brian May
No.
quite famously plays with a sixpence coin.
No, I'm not that cool.
Well, you've
or
got a
rich.
pick. But you have a pick.
I have a pick.
It's
That's all
not,
I could afford.
Not metal.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a stack of them back there.
I actually do have a metal pick that I bought for the last Queen stream.
Yes.
Yeah, and that was cool. It really gets you kind of that sound that he has. Yeah.
Okay. What was I didn't ask. What was your favorite release of the year?
My favorite release of the year. I kind of have to think of it, but it might have to be Gary Moore.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. Any particular song from that one?
No, they're all pretty good.
Okay.
I
Was
like
it the
them all,
Rocksmith
actually.
exercise packs?
No, those
No?
suck. Don't buy them.
And Sharon, did you have a runner-up?
No, I think just like anything on the Queen.
Okay, yeah, just all
Yeah.
Queen all the time.
I mean, what else
Yep.
did we release this year? I guess the Dragon Force was pretty cool. I guess. I mean, like, Herman Lee sent his army over.
I think he's in. I think he might still be in the chat.
Oh, hi.
He might not be. If he is, hello. Brian likes to have fun, like I said.
I'm crazy. Don't listen to me.
Thank you both for joining us. Right now, we are going to have our penultimate giveaway of the stream. So please listen to UB Jurassic, listen to Black Widow 9 for your chance to win the Ernie Ball Expression Overdrive guitar pedal.
Are they trustworthy?
There are Brian and Tawny. Very. This pedal, Ernie Ball. Very. Yeah, Ernie Ball was extremely nice and has sent us this Expression Overdrive pedal once again to send on to you. So this is it's an overdrive pedal with a wah pedal like attachment, a fixture. What would you call that? I guess just the pedal itself. You can gradually increase or decrease the overdrive with the foot pedal, and the pedal itself is a pretty gorgeous gold color. See, do I have any other? I do have some more information. It is, overdrive adjustment. It has tone adjustment, boost level adjustment, foot sweep, with heel down, and then toe down is going to have the overdrive and boost level. Mono in, mono out, and you've got 9-volt in. So if you want a chance to win this, please listen to what UB Jurassic and Black Widow 9 are saying in the chat. As an extra bonus for this prize in particular, if you watched our stream last Thursday, you saw that I was wearing an Ernie Ball Music Man trucker cap. You will also get one of the, not the same cap that I was wearing. I mean, it's the same style, same looking cap, but not the very one that was on my head. But you'll get your own Ernie Ball Music Man trucker cap along with your Expression Overdrive pedal, which I've left in the wrapping. It seemed like the right thing to do, as much as I wanted to open it up and look at it, because it's very shiny inside. So if you're interested in winning this bundle, once more, please listen to UB Jurassic and Black Widow 9 in the chat. We do ship internationally, so if you are not in the U.S. and you win, just give them your address, split up line by line to make it a little bit easier for me to get your prize to you. Right now, we're going to say hello to our final guests of this stream. Greg Studley, Note
Sup?
tracker extraordinaire. Welcome. You seem like you're a little
Sorry,
bit.
I got excited.
I think you're a little bit on guard because I put you on the spot last week. And
Did
got
you?
mad at me.
Was that just last week?
Yeah, that was just last week.
My therapist told me that was years ago.
Seems like years ago.
Yeah,
I feel like I've been working through it.
strange.
Akshay Balakrishnan.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hi. I
It's
feel
been
like
a-
I'm interrupting something. What?
This is just how Greg and I.
Okay.
It's just how it is.
Yeah.
You know.
Cool.
How are you doing, Akshay?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you? You've
I'm-
been streaming for like 5 years straight.
About 2 hours.
Yeah. Okay.
2 hours. I'm good. I mean,
How's
look,
it feel?
look for people who stream, who are streamers. 2 hours is probably
That's not a lot,
I
actually.
should be hydrating more. I do know that.
Yeah.
That was a mistake. I finished my tea first 20 minutes in, and so now I have regrets. But we're almost through, and I can have
you
all
want me
the
to call the
water I
waiter?
want. No, Andrew,
swear I saw
go
him
give me some
around.
water. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You're good.
Andrew's-
See everything?
Andrew's a fan of that.
He's like turning Doug down. All right. So, Greg, this was your choice. It was mentioned recently. Gary Moore.
I believe I did hear that mentioned recently.
Over the Hills and Far Away.
Yes, more or less.
More or less. So we released 2 versions, both this original Gary Moore version as well as the Nightwish version of Over the Hills and Far Away. So by claiming this one, you managed to get both of them knocked out.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Twofer.
Fred Walker played
Twofer.
Nightwish.
Nice.
What made you select this song?
Well, you know, when we did the Gary Moore pack, unfortunately, I had to take a back seat and play bass on the stream.
Sure.
And I was like, you know, might be fun to kind of jump back in that one and get a little bit of guitar playing and
show what you
actually
can do.
play some Gary Moore.
Who played lead on?
Definitely someone else.
Okay, I'll have to go back.
Yeah.
and
That sounds like a Francois thing to do. Maybe.
I don't-
Just take
I'll
that one.
I'll look into it and see who it was.
I don't know if it matters,
It
but
doesn't-
that's, you
it
could,
doesn't
you
matter.
know, let me know.
Sure.
I
sure.
doubt it's going to change the past at this point.
It won't. I mean, we can do some revisionist history. And just
How all the
we
history
can
books are
record this
written.
stream and input
Whoa.
this portion of the stream onto
Deep.
the video on demand for the previous Gary Moore stream. I'm not going to do that.
I think I just
That's
went
a lot of
cross-eyed.
effort. Sure. Akshay.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm here.
So thank
Oh,
you.
hey, oh, I
Thank
thought you
for
left.
joining Greg for this. So you're playing bass on this
I'm playing
track.
bass on this.
And you have brought your bass. in
Yes.
again. It's been a little while, I think, since you've been here. So why don't you tell us what you got?
Yeah, this is a Traben Havoc. It's not really, this particular model isn't made anymore, but this was the John Moyer signature bass, like his own personal line. I had to look that up one more time because it has been a while since I had to explain that. When I looked this bass, I was like, "Oh, that's a nice looking bass. Ooh, it plays nice," and that was good enough for me. And later, I found out, that little squiggle at the top there, that's John Moyer's signature. Yeah.
Yeah.
How about that?
Thought it was just a squiggle.
Yeah. We later found out that this thing has like 2 9-volt batteries in it, so it's like
Oh, it
it's
is
very loud.
hot. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
a hot guitar.
I'll give you a motion if you need to pull it back a little bit.
I am. After we found that out, I am always on guard for that.
Cool. Greg, what do you have?
Oh, I've got my
your
usual workhorse guitar here, my PRS SE Custom 24.
Okay. Why do they call it a 24?
Oh, now you know you're getting into the specifics with me again here. Okay, so there's 23 frets until you get to the double dot, and then you arrive at what would be after the 23rd. Now, why they call it 24? I don't know. Why they don't call it a PRS Custom 23 plus 1?
23 plus 1.
Because honestly, you put a longer
23 plus
name
1
on
in
it,
mine.
it's going to look like it's worth more money.
That is way fancier of a name.
That's at least another $70 right there.
Yep.
70 bucks for a name change.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into Gary Moore, Over the Hills and Far Away.
Sure.
One more prize coming up after this song.
Yeah.
Ready for it. Who's playing drums? Is that you?
Not me, man. Not get hit in the face by that. Yep.
loud.
No, you're good. You're good. Messing me up.
What?
It counts in my heart. Thanks, buddy.
What do you think about a key change?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
So fun.
Sorry.
Matt L wants to know.
Nice.
First off, very well done.
Thank you.
Both of you.
Nice work.
Yeah.
Matt L wants to know if you have any tips on good solo faces.
Oh, well, I mean, totally. Yeah. I mean, so first of all, the deadpan. doesn't usually work out so well.
No, it's funnier in the head.
You can't normally use your hands to manipulate your face because you're playing, which is something obviously to take into account. Like some people are like, oh, maybe I can do that. And I'm like, no, you can't because you got to be playing. So a lot of times people try to show the teeth, kind of like tighten up the lips, so to speak. The throwing back the head is oftentimes very useful, so you can kind of look at the ceiling type of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe we could go around and show some faces. Doug, would you like to start with some?
I do the often disproved deadpan face.
You do? Oh,
so
sorry.
Can you?
No. I know it's wrong of me.
Well, can you at least show everyone what it's going to look like?
That's what I look like all the time.
Sounds good. Akshay, do you have any?
I got the funk. It's like
that's a good one.
You do the chicken neck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once I get really into it, it's like.
No, I do want to say one of my personal favorites is when obviously things don't go so well, and you get the outright confusion face, which is more like, huh?
Yeah.
Like that's a really good one in there. So you can
Or I think my favorite is when the guitar player looks like they've surprised themselves. Like, what's this that I'm doing?
Yeah,
I
whoa!
Can't believe this.
I don't know if that was good or bad, but I did it.
Do you all hear this? Oh, this is nuts.
That was a great question, by the way. Much better than anything about either Tonewood or
The person who asked that question changed their name to Tonewood.
Wow.
All right, you know what? It's all good then.
Dang. All right. All right.
Akshay, was your first Rocksmith stream last year's holiday stream?
No, I started partway through this year, actually.
Partway through this
year. I think it was for Pat Benatar, I think. No, not Pat Benatar.
Well before that.
No, it wasn't Pat Benatar. Who was it?
Was it Pat Benatar?
It was Time After Time. That's what it was.
Oh,
yeah.
Cyndi Lauper was your first time?
Yeah,
Cyndi
Cyndi Lauper.
I thought you were on here before that.
Nope, that was the first one. I was so nervous.
Okay, I guess you would know. Boy. You would know better than I.
Yeah.
Now, if you were to have picked a song, from this year that you're aware of,
I would have probably picked Real Big Fish's Take on Me and probably done really bad.
Did you play that one?
No, that was just before I started.
Okay.
But yeah,
that was
I've tried it and it is really hard. I still haven't quite got the hang of it, but it's fun and I like the song a lot. So
cool.
Yeah.
And Greg, did you have a runner-up?
Oh, totally, but you wouldn't let me play it.
What? Wait, what would I?
Oh. So my favorite song of the year, which Doug refused, by the way, to let me play, was Advanced String Skipping Exercise 2.
It's not that I refused to let you play it. I just didn't include the exercises on the list of available songs.
Just saying.
Yikes.
Would you like to give us a demo?
No. and the reason is...
no, you wouldn't let me do it.
Because I don't know what phrase I'm starting at.
Oh.
Now, if I knew what phrase...
Well, we're at the end of the stream, so you would be starting at phrase 9.
Well, unfortunately, there's no volume, so I can't.
I'm sure that can
please
be.
don't enable this.
Well, it's mainly because I have it rolled off.
There's one we can't blame Andrew for. Pearman wants to know, is this the last stream of the year? No, it is not. We will have a stream. Oh, did you want to answer?
No, I was just...
You look like
I was showing yet another face that you could make while you're soloing. That's a good one. Yeah.
There will be a stream this Thursday for ABBA. And there will be a stream the following Thursday for another song pack that has not yet been announced.
Cool.
Some more information on that will be revealed later. On Thursday.
Oh, that was specific.
That was a good pause.
That
was a nice length. Yeah. All right. Nice.
Cool. I needed a lot of gravity behind that. No, so there are 2 more streams this year after that, and then we will be returning in January. The first release of January will be on the 7th of January, so the first stream will be on the 9th. Right. So that's when we will return to this room and play songs. Again, from a different artist yet, or a different song pack at least. Can't say for sure that it's an artist. It might be multiple. Might be one, might be more.
Could
no
it be
one knows.
none?
Well, somebody we know. We just can't say.
Okay.
Or we won't say. Okay. Thank you both very much for joining us. I think I've delayed the ultimate prize, the grand prize.
Oh, they want it.
Some
though.
water for you?
Yeah,
Or?
They want it.
Well, oh yeah. Oh, first, can I get some water? I can't give away this prize until I get some water. Okay. Thank you both very much for joining us and playing. Right now, we're gonna give away a guitar. We're gonna give away a 6-string guitar. So if you would like a chance to win this ESP LTD EC 256 FM in Lemon Drop, please let us know. Greg, what does the EC stand for? Do you know?
Electric guitar.
Yeah, no, you're so wrong. Actually, I saw somebody say it earlier today, and I should have made a note about what the EC stands for. Eclipse, maybe? Could it be Eclipse? Yeah, it's Eclipse. Okay. That's why I'm asking you, Greg. Greg's mad because I asked him a question I don't already know the answer to. How do I learn if I only ask questions that I know the answers to? And Greg doesn't have a mic, so it's just me talking to myself. So I get to be right and win the argument. This guitar has a mahogany body. Whoa! That was I think I just earned a nickname. Flamed maple top, mahogany neck. Set neck construction. It is a 24.75-inch scale with a rosewood fingerboard and chrome hardware, ESP tuners, Tunematic bridge and tailpiece, and an ESP LH150 B&N pickup, 3-way toggle, bridge volume, neck volume, and master tone knob with push-pull coil split. And this one does not include the case. This will be just the guitar sent to you. This is the other prize that we don't have in the studio yet. It has been ordered and it is on the way, but it will be a little while later than the other prizes to be shipped out. But again, we are hoping to have this out before our holiday break. So before the first of the year, we are hoping to get this out. We will be in contact with the winner to let them know the status. If we could just get the email address of the winner of this grand prize, we'll let you know the status of your guitar. If you want to win, just listen to UB Jurassic and Black Widow 9 in the chat. Once more, UB Jurassic is Brian Turner. He is the community manager for Rocksmith, based out of North Carolina. And Tawny is Black Widow 9. She is a community representative for Rocksmith. And I want to thank both of them very much for sticking around, helping moderate the chat, get questions to us here in the studio, and help us give away these prizes. This is the grand prize. If you win, you'll be reached out to by one of our moderators to get your name, your telephone number, and your shipping address. Once more, we need all of that information. We do ship internationally, but if you are not in the U.S., please split up your address line by line. And as a bonus, all physical prize winners are getting a set of the one wooden Rocksmith ornament and one mirrored Rocksmith ornament, both laser etched by hand, by laser hand, from Dan Emmerich. I want to thank everybody for joining us here in the stream. Most of all, I want to thank all of you for hanging out with us every Thursday, some Mondays, hanging out with me and letting me get better at what I'm doing here. And I've had a great year. I hope you've had a great year with us. And I just want to say thank you. Have happy holidays. We will see you Thursday. Have a wonderful holiday season. And farewell.